Welcome to the CharlotteVibe.com Panthers post-game report. The Panthers today took on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tampa Bay, and they were victorious. They're now 4-3 on the season. Final score of today's game was 31-13. They took a field goal away at the last possession there. So we're going to quickly go through the scoring points of today.
Before you even get into that, Chris, we have to say this. You said 4-3. First time this team's been over 500 since Ron Rivera or Cam Newton have been here. So after a slow start, finally over 500. Let's see if they can continue rolling.
Yeah, I agree. Panthers started off with a score to none other than Cam Newton's favorite target, Greg Olsen. That took him out to a 7-0 lead. D'Angelo Williams actually got on the board today. I know he's happy about that. He's been top 10 running back all season, but has 0 touchdowns. So glad to see him get a touchdown
Mike
today.
Tolbert normally takes his touchdowns at the end, and you talk about those first 2 drives right there, Chris. Those 2 drives are about as easy as they get. The first drive takes 9 minutes off the clock. Cam goes almost perfect down the field and finds Olsen, and then they come right back to take a 14-3 lead on D'Angelo's touchdown.
Yep. And so they ended the first half with the Panthers up 14-6. The second half started with Cam Newton on a 6-yard run, followed by Tolbert. You know, he got a touchdown back there from from D'Angelo.
And what you're hearing is a mixture of guys getting it done. You got D'Angelo scoring, you have Greg Olsen scoring, you have Mike Tolbert scoring, and then also Cam again. So, it's a mixture of this offense right now. Everybody's getting involved. Ted Ginn had some big catches to keep the drives going. So this offense is probably clicking about as best as we've seen it, and we got to give some credit to not only the players, but to the coaching staff and Mike Shula calling a good game.
Absolutely, I agree. My man Graham Gano, he hit a field goal today, made the score 31-6.
Maybe start calling him Mr. Perfect?
He might be on track for a Pro Bowl season. You know, he's doing pretty good. I don't think he's missed all season.
Missed all season,
So, but again, the final score was 31-13. Panthers are again now 4-3. So we got something new for you guys this week. We're going to try a PTI style question and answer. We got 60 seconds. We're going to go through with Dustin. Here's some questions here. So number 1. Who's your MVP for today's game?
Well, MVP, I got to go with Cam Newton. Probably the MVP for the past couple weeks. The guy has come out and played lights out. He was struggling earlier in the season. In the Arizona game, he had one of his worst games, throwing 3 interceptions. People were wondering, is he getting it? Is he the franchise guy? But he comes back. They game plan better. He starts taking care of the ball. Hasn't thrown an interception in the past 3 games. How huge is that when your quarterback doesn't turn the ball over?
Do you think it's Cam or the game plan that has made him better?
I think it's a mixture of both, because we did bash the coaching staff, but they're calling a better game now, mixing the run and pass together. But when you look at Cam, he's getting rid of the ball quicker, and he's finding the check down routes, even if it's for 10 yards and a first down to Steve Smith.
I got to cut you off because we're running out of time, so we only get 1 minute.
What's the bell? All right. Cam, MVP. So
well, my vote, I flip between offense, defense, coaching staff. I'm going to take the easy way out, I think, and just go for a team victory, because the defense played good enough to give the offense a chance to kind of go methodically down. I like the play calling from Shula, but I also feel like that was come from Rivera. So that's our time, but I'm going to go with the cheap way out and say the whole team award today.
I'll take the hard route. You take the easy route.
Number 2, is this a playoff team?
Man, tough question. Hard to gather right now. They're finally over 500. Got a tough Atlanta team coming in, but banged up and really not playing that well. So they could be 5-3 before heading into the tough stretch of their schedule. I think this team is playing well enough to make the playoffs. We'll see what happens. Again, you're going to go on the other side probably with a bad cop and say they've only been beating bad teams. But right now they're getting wins.
So yeah, they've been beaten. I don't think they've beaten anyone with a winning record. Now, they had a good game against Seattle, which people are picking to be the front runner.
Which was a loss, though.
Which was a loss. They had a good game. So I don't know if you can call them a playoff team. I still honestly think they may be a little fragile, with their confidence. You can see the confidence building now.
But at least they're blowing these bad teams out. They used to struggle against bad teams, maybe squeak out a win. Now they're winning by 2 touchdowns, 31-13. They win a game 35-10. They blow out the Giants.
Against Tampa Bay.
They're blowing bad teams, but they're blowing them out and taking care of business. You can only beat who's on your schedule over 500.
They are beating the teams now that they're supposed to beat. So I'll say that.
Yes or no? Right now, are they a playoff? Will they make the playoffs?
I still say no. Because we have a lot of history that says no.
And you know what? Even though I put the case together for them, I'm going to say no. It's still too early to tell.
Still too early?
Tough games coming up.
All right. So we meet the clock on that one. Next one would be Jonathan Stewart is returning. We normally have a player on the show. I talked to Jonathan about coming on, but he didn't play tonight. So we're doing this PTI style thing. But we'll have players on again next week. Well, I assure you. But Jonathan Stewart, he's going to return probably next week. I got a chance to talk to him in the locker room this week. You know, he was one of those guys that just seemed so happy to just be back out there on the field and just willing to fit into whatever role that he could. I saw him, you know, they let us watch the beginning of practice. He looked pretty solid, looked pretty quick. I don't know that his return is going to help them so much because I really feel like the running game's been solid.
You led right into my point. What if I play the bad cop here and say that him coming back could be a bad thing for this team? Because think about it. You just talked about it. The balance they have right now with D'Angelo and Tolbert. D'Angelo scores tonight, Tolbert scores tonight. They know how to mix and match them. You throw a third back in there who Stewart could be the most talented back on this team. But where does the carries go? How do you get all three guys involved without messing up a rhythm? These two guys.
I wasn't watching the clock. I think we're over.
Are we over already?
We're over. That was a minute.
That can be over already. But listen, just one quick point. I think that Stewart will help this team. Of course, he's a great talent, but they got to find a way to get everybody involved. You can't take away from hot guys like Tolbert and D'Angelo right now.
Okay. All right. Fourth and final question. Is Rivera's job safe for this 2013 season?
For this year, yes, but a long way to go. I mean, we thought he might get fired in the season earlier on, but he's won 3 games in a row. The team is over 500 this late in the season for the first time, I think, in 5 years. Just think about that.
Do you credit him the most with the turnaround right now?
I don't credit him the most. I mean, I do give him a lot of credit because people were bashing him, and he changed his game plan. He became more aggressive. Look how he goes for it on these 4th downs now. So you do got to give him a ton of credit. Is he safe for this year? Yes. But if he doesn't make the playoffs, he's not making it to next year.
So is he safe or not?
He'll
make it through the year.
He's safe for this year. But if he doesn't make the playoffs, he's not going to be coaching on the sidelines next season.
You know, I think he's definitely safe. He learned his lesson. It was, I think, maybe 2 weeks ago in the Monday morning press conference. You could see it in his eyes and hear it in his voice that he had learned his lesson about not being aggressive. I mean, you saw him really humble.
Went for it again on 4th down tonight.
Right, did he?
Yeah.
So he went for it again.
Got it.
I think that whatever his potential is as a coach, that he's now there because his coaching style has changed. He's learned his lesson. So I think he's safe, and I think that if he makes it through this year, I guess I'm going back and forth, huh?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, all right. So he's safe for this year.
What's it going to take for him to get to next year? Playoffs?
I don't know. If they play, I say no. I say if his style carries over, then they'll win the games they're supposed to win. Whether they make the playoffs is kind of dependent on a lot of things outside of him right now. So I just say if he keeps up how he is now, they don't have to make the playoffs. Just win the games they're supposed to win, play solid, and I think he'll be good.
He got over a half a season to find out. I think he has to make the playoffs to keep his job. So.
Yep, and we went over because I wasn't watching the clock. So let us know how you like our new style. If you want questions for us, I always like to get you guys' feedback. So again, I'm happy to report that from Tampa Bay, Panthers won 31-13. They're now 4-3. They play at home next Sunday against Atlanta.
Huge game. Huge game. It's almost another must-win. You're 4-3. You talked about other factors. There's about 5 or 6 teams in this playoff race with the same record right now trying to get one of those last wild card spots. You have New Orleans, who's in first place.
Give me a prediction on Atlanta game.
They're going to win. They're going to beat Atlanta at home, I think. I think they're playing well enough. They come back home with confidence. Another division game. They get to 5-3, but after that is when it gets tricky. On the road to San Francisco, here home Monday night against New England, 2 of the best teams in the NFL. So that's why I think you have to win this Atlanta game before heading into those 2 tough games.
And we got to wrap it up. We're out of time. We're completely out of time. So thank you guys for watching. Dustin Pfeiffer, Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe Post Game Panthers Report.